So I had to start the recording because I was ranting to myself off camera. And I'm thinking, why am I not recording this? It's Monday night, let's do the fucking show. I've got my fucking notes here, yeah. So anyways, in the middle of my rant, here's what I was saying to myself, because I talk to myself all the time, because I'm the only one who knows what the fuck is talking about. At least in this world. Triple H and Stephanie, you obnoxious cunts. I want you to understand something. Not only would the WWE be better without you, it would be so much better without you. It wouldn't even be funny. Because you cunts make me ashamed to watch pro wrestling and call me a fan, or call myself a fan of pro wrestling. The WWE is the drizzling shits of pro wrestling these days. And it makes me ashamed to call myself a fan of pro wrestling. Just got done watching Raw and wasting 3 hours of my fucking life. Again. I really don't know why I keep doing this. I'm like a beaten spouse who just can't get away from my abuser. I'm like an old washed-up wrestler. So I was actually watching a video on YouTube or something, and I don't remember if it was Jim Cornette or if it was somebody else who said this, and it actually made so much sense to me. I've been knocking all these old wrestlers for a while now. I'm sure you guys have heard. It's well documented. I keep knocking all these old fuckers for not retiring. Somebody said it. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jim Cornette, but it made perfect sense. Being in that ring and performing, it's like a drug, and you become addicted to that drug. And even when you get older, your body starts to break down, your mind starts failing you, all these other things. You're still compelled to go back, to get your fix just one more time. I can understand that, but seriously, at some point, you have to realize you just can't do it anymore. You're not entertaining anymore, or your body's too broken to handle the pain or just the punishment of being a wrestler. It's time to fucking stop. It's like a crackhead who's done nothing but crack for the past 50 years of their life. You want one more fix, but you know one more thing could stop your heart, make your fucking heart explode. But you keep doing it, because you just need that one more fix. Get help. Seek help. I'm so fucking bored watching this shit. WrestleMania is going to suck this year. Again, like the 4th or 5th year in a row now. But this year, it's going to be so much worse than the last couple of years. Because this year, there's absolutely nothing to fucking care about. Nothing. Not even the Shane Undertaker thing. The last segment of the show fucking ruined that for me. I don't fucking care anymore. So let's finally start and go over the fucking drizzling shit show. March 14th, 2016, from I think it's called the Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bunch of jackasses on my message board that I go to kept saying all night, oh, Kurt Angle's gonna come back because they're in Pittsburgh. Fuck Kurt Angle. And if the WWE is stupid enough to bring him back, I already fucking hate the WWE anyways, but fuck them for bringing back a piece of shit. The show starts immediately. No intro video, no pyro. The show starts immediately with Lillian Garcia introducing the New Day, who come out to a big pop. And two of them have those unicorn horn things, the little headbands, and there's like sword fighting with them, and I'm like, oh great, that just makes my dildo reference even more apropos. Sword fighting with dildos. the gay jokes. I won't touch them, but they're there. They come out and they start talking. One of them is carrying another box of the Booty-O's cereal, and it's got a better box art on it now. It shows some of the most racist shit, by the way. I'm guessing it's supposed to be Kofi, Biggie, and Woods. They're on the thing like riding a unicorn, but all three of them are pictured on the box as being black as hell, just so damn dark, and I'm like, that's racist. Who fucking painted the box to do that? Whoever painted it is fucking racist. Anyways, they end their promo with a New Day Rocks, or whatever the fuck. They were talking a bunch of shit, I guess, about the League of Nations. Speaking of, the League of Nations come out. No reaction, of course, because nobody gives a fuck about these 4 ass clown jabronis. And Lillian Garcia gives the nice big match introductions, because this is going to be a tag team title match. The New Day, and for the first time in a long time, it's Big E and Xavier Woods will actually be the legal men in the match. And Kofi's going to be on the outside. And they're going up against Rusev and Alberto Del Rio of the League of Nations. So they have this match. The first thing I had to write down was Big E starts off the match with Rusev. Of course, have the two big guys start off against each other. Big E puts Rusev in an abdominal stretch. And he fucking licks his hand and he starts spanking Rusev on the ass with his free hand. And he's doing, New Day Rocks! New Day Rocks! And I'm like, what the fuck is this? After that, Big E gets Rusev into his corner, and they do their little unicorn stampede thing where they're just stomping the piss out of Rusev. Somehow Rusev counters back, and his top-heavy ass hit a fucking drop kick on Big E. I don't know what the fuck that came from. Commercial break. Okay. What ended up happening here, I think Del Rio... Was Del Rio legal? I don't know. Del Rio was on the apron for some reason. I don't know if he was waiting for a tag or something, but I think what happened, Big E cleared Rusev out of the ring, and it looked like Del Rio was going to come in. So Big E went to charge him and do that apron spear that he does. Del Rio gets his knee up and clocks Big E, and then pulls him back through the ropes, springboards up off the ropes, and stomps Big E down, face first, into the edge of the apron. So Big E falls out of the fucking ring. Fuck. There was a bunch of bullshit that happened. Kofi was doing some shit outside of the ring. He's not part of the match. So, he basically acted as a distraction. And I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Woods. Woods rolled up, I think it was Del Rio, or maybe it was Rusev. Woods rolls up Rusev for the 1-2-3. And the New Day gets the win. And immediately, all 4 members of the League of Nations jump in the ring and start beating the crap out of Woods. They beat the crap out of Kofi because he came in to try and make the save. He gets beat down. Big E comes in to try to make the save. He gets beat down. And these 4 ass clown jabronis that nobody fucking cares about beat the shit. These 4 white dudes, aside from fucking Del Rio, who's Hispanic, so he's still basically white. I mean, these 4 white dudes beat the shit out of 3 black dudes. So, more racism. I hadn't even thought about that at the time it was happening. I was just like, this is really weak because nobody gives a fuck about the League of Nations. It's probably the most heat they've ever gotten in their fucking... the life of this stable. Because the fans were actually booing because they genuinely like the New Day and they don't want to see them get beat up. They cheered when the New Day won, retaining the tag titles. Two of the guys pick up Kofi and hold him up, and Wade Barrett, that limey prick, rears up his stupid thing, and he comes charging and just clocks Kofi with an elbow, which is the bull hammer. And I'm like, yeah, and you still don't do it as good as Chris Hero, you piece of shit. I swear, Wade Barrett stole half his fucking moveset from Chris Hero. And that's probably the reason why Hero couldn't get up to the fucking main roster. That and they had problems with his weight. But you don't have problems with Kevin Owens' weight. You don't have problems with Mark Henry's weight, or the Big Show's weight. Kane's got kind of a gut. The Undertaker has kind of a gut. And Chris Hero, who was weighed less than all of those motherfuckers, he had a little bit of a belly, and you shit on him for it. So Kofi eats a bull hammer. And then they pick up Big E, and he eats a brogue kick from Sheamus. And then they grab Woods, and they set him up in the Tree of Woe in the corner. And of course, you know exactly where I'm going with this, because anytime somebody gets put in the Tree of Woe when Alberto Del Rio is anywhere nearby, he's going to hit that horribly contrived shit fucking stomp that he does. And that's what he does. So Woods eats the contrived stomp. And then Woods also gets to suck on the accolade from Rusev. Because that's about all that fucking hoss can do. And after that bullshit, they finally cut to a commercial break. This beatdown went on way too long. The crowd stopped caring after so long. They stopped booing the fucking League of Nations. Because they're just like, yeah, you guys still suck. Fuck off. Commercial break. We come back, they recap what just happened, like we're 2-year-olds and we have the attention span or the memory of a gnat, and we literally can't remember what happened 2 minutes ago before the fucking commercials. So they recap it, whatever the fuck. Cut back to the arena. Ambrose's music hits. He comes out to a pop, and introduced as Lillian Garcia. Please welcome Dean Ambrose so you know nothing's gonna happen. There's no fighting. Whatever. While Ambrose is coming out, they happen to show a little bit of a recap, a clip from the match from Roadblock Saturday. I never bothered covering Roadblock because there was no point to it. Just as I said, no titles changed hands. Nothing really of note happened. There was no point in having the show. It was basically a glorified house show that they actually put on the network. So, don't care. But they show a clip from this match. Number 1, Ambrose plants Triple H with the dirty deeds. And he covers him 1, 2, 3. But, because of a fucking technicality, a rule I'd never even heard of before, Ambrose's foot was supposedly under one of the ropes, under the bottom rope, while he was covering Triple H. And for some reason, even though having your foot under the ropes, he didn't even have his foot under the ropes anyways. It was not even really under it. But apparently, for some reason, having your foot under the ropes means that the pin didn't count. It's not allowed to be counted because you had your feet under the ropes. Why does that even matter? His foot was not even really under the rope. Even if it was just barely under the rope. It didn't provide any extra leverage. It's not like he had his foot up on the ropes, giving extra leverage on the pin. So, why exactly is this a rule? Why is this even a thing? What I took from this is they were basically slapping us in the fucking face saying, you could have had Ambrose at champion, but we decided to take it away from you. Because fuck you. You don't get to have a good champion. You get Triple H or fucking boring-ass Roman Reigns. That's all you fucking get, because this is the WWE. We don't have to try hard because we have no fucking competition. That's what I took from this. We're going to give you the most bullshit of bullshit answers, or reasons, as to why Dean Ambrose could not win the title. He had Triple H's punk ass beat. And because of a fucking technicality, it doesn't count. So yeah. Ambrose starts talking. He's talking about stuff. There's a "Let's Go Ambrose" chant. You know, that's great. He's talking. I can't really remember much of what he said. I mean, he was basically just talking about Triple H and how I beat you, and, you know, I proved to you that I can beat you, and I showed you that you will respect me for what I do, you know, yada, yada, yada. All of a sudden, Lesnar's music hits, and he comes out with Paul Heyman. And Heyman starts talking, of course going through his usual spiel. And just a bunch of stupid bullshit. I don't even remember anything that he said. It doesn't matter. Heyman goes to wrap it up. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to finish this by hyping up the match at WrestleMania. You know, it's going to happen April whatever in Texas. WrestleMania. Ambrose versus Lesnar. Thank you and good night, folks. And Heyman starts leaving. And he fucking leaves. He goes through the curtain. Lesnar's kind of backstepping a little bit like he's going to leave, but he stops. And then Lesnar starts heading towards the ring. And I'm guessing Heyman looked over his shoulder and he's like, Brock, where you at, Brock? Because Heyman comes running back and he's like, whoa, 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 Brock, hold on, stop. Because they start getting close to the ring, and as they start getting close, Ambrose is wearing this leather jacket. He opens it up and pulls out a fucking crowbar. So Ambrose means business tonight. He's like, fuck you, you Neanderthal fuck. I'm going to cave your skull in with this fucking crowbar. Brock sees the crowbar, and he's like, you know what? He starts circling around the ring. He comes around, and he gets back to about the ramp, the bottom of the ramp. He gets up on the apron and goes to get in the ring. Ambrose takes a wild fucking swing with this crowbar, and Brock ducks it and jumps off the apron. And that's it. They immediately cut to commercial. Nobody left. They just cut to commercial. I don't know if that was too violent for the kiddies. I don't fucking care either. Coming back from the fucking commercial, Ryback's music is playing. And his steroided up hoss ass is in the fucking ring. And then the Lucha Dragons music hits. And the two of them come out. And Sin Cara is wearing all black. Just his whole outfit is completely black. Black mask, black tights, knee pads, elbow pads, armbands, everything. All black. Doesn't matter. What we get is a match between Ryback and Sin Cara. It was a shit squash. Oh, in case you're wondering, my thoughts on the New Day versus League of Nations match, it was alright. It really wasn't a bad match. And I'm glad that the New Day retained because, well, let's be honest. Even if the League of Nations won the tag team titles, would it fucking matter? It's not going to take their fucking careers anywhere. It's a downgrade for all of them. Sheamus, former WWE champion. Del Rio, former WWE champion, former World Heavyweight champion. Rusev, former U.S. champion, which isn't really all that great. And what the fuck has Wade Barrett done? He's been Intercontinental champion. He has held the cursed title, and his career hasn't recovered since. They stuck these four losers together because they had nothing better for them. And so they're like, well, you're a stable now. Now we can do a little bit more with you, I guess. We can put you in the fucking tag division and have you meander through mediocrity because that's all you're going to do now. I really hope Del Rio is kicking himself in the ass for leaving Lucha Underground to come back to this jabroni bullshit. back to the match at hand. Sin Cara and Ryback. It's a shit squash, of course. Sin Cara went for some sort of springboard move. It's caught by Ryback into a shell shock, which looked exactly like a Samoan drop. He catches him on his shoulders and just slams him backwards. He didn't even bother to hook the leg like he usually does. And you're thinking, okay, shell shock, match is over. No. Ryback looks over at Kalisto, who's at ringside for his partner Sin Cara, right? He looks at him. He picks Sin Cara up, he gets him up for the shell shock again, and he hits it again. Then he pins Sin Cara. 1, 2, 3, match is over, crowd's dead, nobody fucking cares. Ryback gets out of the ring and grabs a microphone, I guess from Lillian. Kalisto's checking on Sin Cara in the ring. And Ryback starts talking to Kalisto. He says, basically all he says is he wants a U.S. title shot at WrestleMania. That's basically all he says. We don't get any answer. Ryback just fucks off. We cut backstage to one of the backstage areas. There's Stephanie. She's coming out next. And they cut to a commercial. Coming back from the commercial, Stephanie's atrocious music hits, and she comes out, of course, to no reaction, because this bitch doesn't draw heat. Fucking hell. I think even Vicky Guerrero got a few boos during her entrance. Stephanie gets jack shit, and my eye is bothering me. I don't know if you've been noticing this in the video, but I keep fucking with my eye. I don't know if it's an eyelash that keeps poking me in the eye or something, but it's been bothering me for a while now. So if you're wondering, that's what it is. I know you probably don't care. Anyways, Stephanie gets in the ring and she gets a microphone, and I'm already just like, no, just somebody come in the room and shoot me. I don't want to hear any more of this bitch's nasally fucking voice. She sounds like a fucking cunt with a fucking head cold. She runs her dick licker. She introduces Triple H. And he comes out to King of Kings. And I'm like, oh God, because that's better. I go from one fucking dickless cunt to the next. He comes out. I don't think he got a reaction either. He starts running his dick licker. And he goes through the same shit that he did the other week, where he basically says, we are the authority, and you people need to respect us and know your role, and you like Dean Ambrose, you like Roman Reigns. And I'm like, I don't fucking like Roman Reigns, motherfucker. Don't even accuse me of that. I will choke your ass for fucking accusing me of that bullshit. I like talented people. But he's like, you like Dean Ambrose because he represents you. He's the lovable loser. You know? He's, you know, all this fuck, he goes on and on and on, just droning on and on in that boring, monotonous fucking tone that he always has in his fucking voice. Because he is a boring son of a bitch. Shitting on the fans. You people live your lives in fear of your boss. You hate your boss. You hate your jobs. But you keep hoping that things are going to get better. And after a while, he's still going. And I'm like, seriously? He's still cutting this promo? This is boring as shit. He finally gets around to mentioning Roman Reigns. And saying, you're hoping that he's going to beat me at WrestleMania. And I'm like, no, I'm not hoping that he beats you at WrestleMania. I'm hoping the fucking lighting rig above the ring collapses and kills the both of you deadweight pieces of shit. Because the company would be better off without both of you. And my only hope is that Stephanie is somehow in the ring and she dies too. That is the best possible outcome of this match at WrestleMania. Maybe we can get lucky, and maybe some cosmic force will just tear the fucking earth asunder and sink the whole match and kill all three of them. That's the only thing that could happen that could be good in this match. Because no possible outcome is good. Roman winning, he sucks, he's a wank peasant. Triple H winning, he's a boring-ass, pathetic asshole. Either way, I'm going to be bored to death. Blech. Triple H tries to end by saying, again, the authority always wins. And again, I have to think, no, asshole. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan beat you and your boring friends, Roman and fucking Batista. Not Roman, Randy. Randy's not that boring. He can be boring, but not that boring. But Batista's fucking boring. But Bryan beats you and Randy and Batista and becomes champion. And that was the best thing that happened that night. The only good thing that happened on that show. Because that was also the night that Lesnar beat the Streak. And I'll have more to say about that a little bit later, if I remember. But yeah, Triple H tries to leave on the line, the authority always wins. And then Ziggler's music hits. And he comes out in a suit with his hair in a man bun, which that fad needs to die, folks. Come on. He's got a suit on and a pink shirt under it with a black tie. He comes out and he starts talking, and the three of them just kind of go back and forth trading insults and shit. And Ziggler gets around to saying, you know, after having you guys threaten to fire me so many times, I've got nothing to lose. I'm not going to quit. You're not going to chase me out of this company. So I got nothing to lose. I'm really getting tired of this shit. And I want to prove that I'm not this piece of shit that you keep claiming I am. You know, I beat you and took the authority out Survivor Series the one year. Even if it was with Sting's help. You know, whatever the fuck. Ziggler says something about Stephanie. He's talking to Triple H. He says something about your boring cunt of a wife or something. He didn't obviously call her a cunt. I would have, because I fucking hate that little cunt. But he insults Stephanie. He's talking to Triple H. He talks about Stephanie like she's not even there. And bravo, because honestly, everybody should be doing that. That bitch has no fucking presence. But after Dolph says whatever it was about Stephanie, she slaps him in the face. And I'm surprised he sold it. He's like, oh God, you know. Stephanie's about to fire him. Triple H cuts her off. He's like, no, no, no. You know what? And they go back and forth a bit. And finally, Stephanie comes back to talking again. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, no. But she comes back to talking. And she says, you know what? You want a match at WrestleMania? Because apparently that's what he was talking about. You want a match at WrestleMania? You know what? Fine. You can have a match at WrestleMania. Any match of your choosing. Except for the WWE title, of course. You can have any match you want except for that. But you have to win one match here tonight on Raw. You have to win a match against Triple H. And of course she's hyping him up as the game, the cerebral, all these fucking stupid nicknames that he gave himself. Nobody the fuck else called him those nicknames before he started using them himself. But yeah, she's like, you want your match at WrestleMania, you have to beat Triple H tonight. And the crowd starts chanting, yes, yes, and even Stephanie starts mimicking. End of that segment. We get hype for later on The Undertaker is going to confront Shane and Vince. And they cut to a commercial. Coming back from the commercial, Kevin Owens is on commentary. Sami Zayn comes out to a pop, of course. We get a recap from last week of Zayn's return attacking Owens while he was beating up Neville. And then after that, The Miz comes out to no fucking reaction. And while he's coming out, they do a recap from SmackDown. Apparently there was a tag team match. Owens and The Miz versus Zayn and Neville, I think. Owens basically walked out on the match and let The Miz get his ass kicked, because Owens is a heel, and of course he would do something like that. But that kind of leads into the finish of the match. Zayn versus The Miz. Okay, this was cool. Zayn's basically dominating the match. They spill outside of the ring. Miz tries to counter, I guess, an Irish whip. He throws Zayn towards the barricade. Getting stumbled again. Miz throws Zayn towards the barricade. Zayn counters, jumping up onto the barricade, and does a moonsault off of it, landing on The Miz and flooring him. That was pretty cool. After that, they cut to a commercial break. The finish of the match comes. I'll just skip right ahead to the finish because I didn't really have anything else of note. Owens is sitting there on commentary running his mouth. And he gets up from commentary and he tries to distract Sammy. Sammy and Miz had spilled out of the ring again, this time in front of the commentary table. Miz was knocked down. And like I said, Owens goes over to Zayn to try and distract him. Well, as Owens is, got his dukes up, getting ready to fight Zayn, The Miz comes from behind and clocks Owens from behind and knocks him on his ass. And Zayn immediately, I think, rolled into the ring. Owens is knocked out, hilariously. Somehow The Miz gets in the ring, eats the Helluva Kick from Sami Zayn, because for some reason they won't just let him use his Brain Buster. If you don't know what the Helluva Kick is, they fucking pronounce it wrong. It's supposed to be the hell of a kick. As in, that's a hell of a kick. It's a fucking Yakuza kick, running Yakuza kick to the face in the corner. That's a lame fucking finisher. They couldn't let him use his Brain Buster. They couldn't let him use fucking goddamn anything else. No, a running Yakuza kick to the face in the corner. He might as well do a fucking running big boot or a bicycle kick like Sheamus does. Whatever. Sammy hits the Helluva kick and gets the 1-2-3. So Sammy wins. The match was alright, I guess. Nothing else. Owens gets no rebuttal, nothing. They show a recap from earlier of the New Day getting their asses kicked by the League of Nations. And that segues into backstage. There's Renee Young in the interview area, and up comes the four jabronis of the League of Nations. They start talking, and all they really say of note is they're challenging the New Day to a tag team title match at WrestleMania. They weren't really specific about, anything. They just want a match. Who cares? Cutting back to the arena, Bree's goddamn music hits with that Bree mode. And she comes out with Alicia Fox. And I'm thinking, last time I saw Alicia Fox, she was a heel. What the fuck is she doing with Bree? Alicia Fox's alliance changes every fucking week, apparently. She's just like, who can I leech off of the most? She's a leech. She's a shitty wrestler. She's not very attractive. Anyways, the two of them come out and they cut to a commercial break. The commentators before the break say, oh, they're going to face Team Bad, Tamina and Naomi. And I'm like, oh, good, because I need to see two more talentless fucking divas. Because that's just what I need in my life right now. Things aren't bad enough. Coming back from the break, Naomi's shitty music. No. But yeah, Naomi's shitty music is playing. Naomi and Tamina are both already in the ring. And then the only worthwhile person in this whole segment comes out, Lana. Lana fucking comes out. And she's still wearing the Dolph Ziggler gear with the jacket, the little belly jacket, and a tank top under that, and a pair of, like a skirt. And she's got her hair in like a ponytail. She looks really hot. She comes out. She sits on the commentary table, like right in the middle of it, right in front of Michael Cole. And this actually gets brought up in the commentary during the match. I think Byron Saxton says, "Why is she sitting on the table?" And Cole and JBL are like, "Why are you complaining?" And Byron's like, "Because I'm trying to call the match." And I'm thinking, yeah, and also because, she's married to Rusev, and I don't want to say anything to piss that Neanderthal off, because he's bigger than fucking strong. Yeah, Lana's hot. She's one of the fucking hottest divas right now, but, like, I'm not going to say that when Rusev's backstage. He's going to come out and rip my head off. That's more important than the shit that happens during the match, by the way. What happens during the match, by the way? I didn't even write down a grade on this match. It sucked, basically. Here's what happens. The only things of note. Brie hits a second rope Bella Buster, the X Factor, on, it must have been Tamina. Because Naomi came in and broke up the pin. And I was like, God damn it, that should have been the finish, because I don't want to see any more of this shit. Alicia Fox comes in and does a big fucking kick to Naomi's face and wipes her the fuck out. Whatever the fuck. Somehow, Naomi and Tamina hit a double team move on Brie, I think, and get the win. Or maybe it was on Fox. I don't know or care. Crowd's dead, of course, because they don't give a fuck about any of these four whores. Alicia Fox goes over to Lana. I think Lana did some kind of distraction, and that's what led to the double team finish. But Alicia Fox goes over to Lana, and Lana's just kind of playing coy, and she's like, turn around. She turns around and eats a double super kick from Naomi and Tamina, which wipes her the fuck out. Another big fucking kick. That's all there is to that. We get hype for Ziggler versus Triple H later on. And then we cut back to one of the locker rooms or something, and there's the Social Outcasts. And they start cutting this promo, and they're carrying these hot dogs. They're plugging the new Burger King flame-grilled hot dogs. This is a glorified commercial for the new Burger King flame-grilled hot dogs. And I think I just fucking promoted them more than these jobber clowns ever could. And they even break the fourth fucking wall halfway through. Somebody yells cut, and one of the guys is like, hey, shut up, he just yelled cut, you fucking ruined the promo. And they keep talking, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are we hawking hot dogs on the fucking wrestling show? Why are we fucking having commercials for anything that's not related to the show? These four jabronis hawking these hot dogs does not make me want these fucking hot dogs. I don't eat at Burger King that much anyways. It's better than McDonald's. But the last time I ate at Burger King was when those chicken burgers came out. And they're alright, but like, I was actually going to go back and have another one. But like, I'm not interested in a Burger King hot dog. And I'm actually kind of glad that Burger King is the one doing the hot dogs, because I don't want a McWiener. I'm not interested in that at all. Moving on, after this poor excuse for a fucking attempt to fucking plug Burger King hot dogs, they cut to a fucking commercial, mercifully. Coming back, there's JoJo backstage, and there's Paige, looking hot as fuck, as she always does. JoJo's asking her stupid questions, and Paige is just like, yeah, I'm, trying to get back into this Divas title hunt and shit like that. And up comes Lana. She's still looking hot in the same outfit, of course. She starts talking a bunch of hot garbage. Talking about, Paige, you lost your Divas title, and you lost your friends, and you lost your man. And I'm like, wait a minute, when the hell did she ever have a man? I don't remember that. And she mentions her being on Total Divas and losing her friend Brie Bella, and Paige is just like, well, first of all, let me cut you off right there. Brie Bella is not my friend. And I'm like, thank you, because nobody should want to be friends with either of the Bellas. Fuckingless black holes of charisma and talent. But Paige starts, like, she's running down Lana, like, if you want to step to me and, actually nut up and have a match, maybe then you can actually try and knock me for what I've done, Until then, you can just shut the hell up. And then for some idiot reason, up come Tamina and Naomi, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they basically threaten Paige. I don't remember anything they said, because again, two black holes of charisma and talent. And they walk off with Lana, and Paige is just left there scratching her fucking head. And I'm scratching my head too, like, the fuck is this? Nobody cares about Tamina or Naomi. The only reason anybody cares about Lana is because she's hot. Paige is better than all three of them combined, and hotter than all three of them combined. Plus, there's the fact that, Lana is married to Rusev, and Paige, as far as I know, isn't married to anybody. Which, by the way, Paige, if you want somebody, call me up. Yeah, right. Anyways, that's the end of that page of notes. Get the fuck off of me, piece of shit. So they had JoJo do that interview segment, because after that they have to cut over to Renee, who's interviewing in the interview area. Up comes Charlotte and Ric Flair. And Charlotte runs her stupid dick licker mouth. She starts talking all this hot garbage about, I knew Sasha and Becky before they even came up to the main roster. I'm like, yeah, no shit, you were all on NXT together, stupid. And she mentioned something, I had to hold Sasha's hair back while she puked from nerves before her first match on NXT. So, she was nervous. Can you really blame her? People get nervous before their first match. They talk a bunch of hot garbage. Rick talks a lot of hot garbage. I don't even remember anything he said. All I can remember is thinking, yeah, let Rick talk, because he's got way more charisma than Charlotte does. Even in his senile old days, he's still got more charisma. Who gives a fuck? We cut back to the arena, and the stage blows up with pyro, and the Usos' shitty rap music hits. And I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't usually happen until after they do their stupid jungle dance. The Usos come out and they skip over the dance, and I'm like, holy fuck, thank God they finally nixed that shit, because it was stupid. And because they don't do their stupid dance, and because they don't do their stupid little bullshit where they go, when we say oos, y'all say oh, the crowd gives them no fucking reaction as they come out. Proving what I've been saying for months, the Usos are jabroni, boring motherfuckers. And after they come out, we cut to another fucking commercial break. And when we come back, the social outcasts are in the ring. Oh, and the Dudley fat lard-ass jabroni old motherfuckers, they're on commentary. Like I wanted to hear either one of those old motherfuckers open their mouths. We get the Usos versus Bo Dallas and Adam Rose. I didn't even write down a rating for this match either. It wasn't that great. The only two notes, let's see. The Dudleys tried to distract the Usos at one point, but failed. The Usos go super kick crazy, and they're kicking everybody. Super kicks for days. One of them hits the fucking big splash on one of the jabronis, it doesn't matter who. The only thing I can focus on during this match is Bo Dallas was wearing a singlet that looked almost identical to Jack Swagger's, and I'm thinking, why did Bo Dallas steal Jack Swagger's singlet? It looked like shit on Swagger, and it looks like even more shit on Bo Dallas, Mr. Forgettable. The only reason I could tell that it wasn't actually Swagger's singlet is because on the back, down the singlet part, it says Dallas. And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna need to write your name on your outfit, because I can never fucking remember it, you forgettable piece of shit. You're even more forgettable than your dad was before he became IRS. Anyways, the match is over. The match sucked, because 4 jabronis in a match, nobody to care about, nobody to cheer for. I don't even really care to hate any of these motherfuckers. I can't care. I just can't. 404, caring not found. We cut backstage to another locker room, and there's Dean Ambrose holding his crowbar. Up comes Mick Foley. Of course, the crowd cheered that because they're like, holy shit, Mick Foley. How did they get Foley to show up when he's been so vocal about how bad the company has been lately? And who could blame him? Foley starts talking to Dean, and he's like, I understand you're crazy, but I can't help but ask why you're doing this against Brock. And Dean answers his question by asking another question. He said, you know, when you wrestled The Undertaker, King of the Ring 98 or 99, whichever it was, Hell in a Cell match, right here in Pittsburgh, and Foley's like, right here, and there's a right here in Pittsburgh, so we do the cheap pop thing. But Dean's like, yeah, when you wrestled The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell, and he had you all the way up on top of that cell, were you scared? And Foley's like, yeah, I was scared. I was looking down, the people looked like ants, I was scared for my life. And Dean's like, why did you keep fighting? And, I think what Foley said was, because I'm Mick Foley and that's what I do. And Ambrose is like, well, I'm Dean Ambrose and this is what I do. And Foley's like, okay. With that being in mind, though, I've got a present for you, Dean. I'm going to pass the torch to you, as it were. I think he literally said that. I'm going to pass you the torch. Or think of this as a passing of the torch, I think is what he said. He kind of takes the crowbar away from Dean. He's like, yeah, this isn't going to do against Lesnar. You need something a little bit better. And I can already tell what he's going to do. He hands Dean this big, tall friggin' box. It's all wrapped up with a bow on it. He hands this thing to Dean, and he's like, here you go, I gotta go now. And Ambrose takes the top off of the box. And he looks down inside of it, and already I can see the handle of a baseball bat. And I'm like, He whips this fucking bat out, and it's the barbed wire baseball bat. And the barbed wire looks just as fake and plastic as it always does, but I'm like, yeah, that's gonna help against Lesnar, yeah. You know, a reciprocating saw might be a little bit more prudent. That might help you a little bit more against a fucking man-beast like Lesnar. But I guess a baseball bat wrapped in plastic barbed wire will help a little bit too. We cut back to the arena, and Ziggler's music hits. And I'm like, wait, you're doing this match already? Shouldn't this be the main event? No, actually, this was better placement. Ziggler comes out, and they cut to a commercial break. Coming back from the break, Triple H comes out to no reaction. And by the way, this was at the 10 o'clock hour. I don't remember what was at the 9 o'clock hour. It doesn't matter. Oh, and Triple H is accompanied by Stephanie, by the way. Because apparently, Triple H is such a shit, he needs a fucking cheerleader. And we get the match between these two. And sure enough, because Ziggler's in it and he manages to carry all of his deadweight opponents to good matches, This actually turns out to be a good match, aside from the finish, of course. Let's go through the whole thing. They started off with a bunch of slow-paced, wearing each other down kind of stuff. Headlock, they get the guy in a headlock takedown, and they headlock each other, and Ziggler was kind of dominating, because he's the one with the amateur wrestling background. He's actually able to out-wrestle Triple H, who's never been a very good wrestler anyways. But what ends up happening, they spill out to the outside, and Triple H throws Ziggler into the barricade, and they cut to a commercial break. After the commercial break, they do, of course, the classic boring Triple H spot where his opponent goes into the ropes, he goes for a clothesline, the guy ducks it, Triple H turns around and jumps up and hits the high knee on the guy and knocks him down. Well, Triple H, I think, tripped as he came down, and he fell over, and his leg went right over top Ziggler's face. So I'm like, good job, ass clown. You're losing your fucking touch here. You almost killed Ziggler landing on him like that. A little while later, Triple H does the Ric Flair style knee drop. He's got the guy down, he backs up a bit, and he comes charging, and he drops the knee. And I'm thinking, yeah, Orton still does that better than you. Because when Orton does it, he hits it and he rolls through. Because he's got the fucking agility to do that. Triple H, with his shit torn up body, he can't fucking do that. Oh, yes. And then they pull out one of the oldest fucking spots in wrestling, where, for some idiot reason, Triple H has Ziggler down flat on his back. And Triple H, though not known as a high flyer, he goes up to the second rope and he's just sitting there. And he's basically just sitting like this. He's sitting on the top rope, but he's got his feet on the second rope, and he's just kind of like sitting, waiting way too long. The crowd's booing him, whatever the fuck, and immediately I can tell what's about to happen, because this is a classic spot. It's so predictable. He takes his sweet time waiting. He jumps off the second rope to do an axe handle to a guy who's laying on his back. And of course what happens? Ziggler gets his fucking boot up, and Triple H eats it and falls over. Like I said, it's one of the most predictable spots and one of the oldest spots in wrestling. What were you going for, H? The flying stand? That's all that spot is. You look stupid when you do that spot. You really do. Like, at least make it look like you're going for, like, a splash or maybe, like, an elbow drop, like Stone Cold used to do. Do that and then land on your feet to eat the boot, At least make it look like you're not... stand clear. It's stupid. Fuck off. Anyways. So, after that, of course, Ziggler starts making his comeback. He does his comeback combo. He throws Triple H into the corner, and he does the Stinger Splash and pulls him back into the neck breaker. And, whatever the fuck. Ziggler hits a Famouser on Triple H and only gets a 2 count, of course. And, afterwards, once again, they do that classic Triple H spot where Triple H's opponent throws Triple H into the ropes and then puts his head down. And Triple H comes back, grabs him, and stomps their face into his knee. Right? Well, Ziggler kind of recoils, brushes it off, comes charging, leaps up and grabs him and plants him with the fucking DDT. Because even Ziggler realizes that spot is shit that Triple H does. After the leaping DDT, I think he went for a cover, only got 2. I don't remember. What ends up happening is Triple H is in the corner. And Ziggler, I think, is in the other corner. And I'm like, don't go for the splash again, Dolph. He's going to see it coming. Sure enough, Ziggler comes screaming across the ring. Triple H jumps out of the corner and catches Ziggler into a big spine buster. And I'm thinking, I hope you blew your fucking quad again, you asshole. Every move this fucker makes, I want to see him get hurt. Just so he has to go away for a while. While they're both down from the spine buster, The crowd is so dead during this match, as they have been for most of the fucking show, because who could blame him? This show sucked. While they're both down from the spine buster, it's so quiet, I can hear them calling spots. One of them says to the other one, alright, we're going to do this, and then a super kick. I could hear them say that. Sure enough, Triple H gets up, and he goes to pick Ziggler up. And as he's picking Ziggler up, Ziggler does this, and jumps back, and super kicks Triple H, and catches him with the heel, the fucking right in the middle of his boot, catches Triple H right on the chin. Right up under the chin, and Triple H goes down like a sack of shit that he is. Ziggler gets the cover and only gets a 2 count. What ends up happening, Ziggler ends up on the apron somehow, and Triple H is in the ring, shoves Ziggler off, and Ziggler falls and turns and goes shoulder first into the barricade. I haven't mentioned this because it's pretty boring shit. Triple H had been working this shoulder the entire match. He hit the arm breaker on him. He was whacking him on the corner post, the ring stairs. He would whack his arm on the ring stairs. All this other bullshit. So anyways, after getting thrown into the barricade, or knocked into the barricade, really, I think we go for the 10 count spot, where the referee's counting because he's on the outside of the ring. Ziggler just barely makes it into the ring before the 10 count. Triple H tries to beat Ziggler the same way he beat Ambrose at Roadblock. I didn't mention this before, because who cares? What happened was basically the exact same spot at Roadblock. Ambrose was on the outside of the ring, the 10 count spot. He dives into the ring just before the 10 count. Triple H kicks him as he gets up, hits the fucking pedigree on him, and gets the 1-2-3. Well, he tries to do the same thing with Ziggler. Ziggler gets in the ring, Triple H kicks him, goes for the pedigree. I think Ziggler backdropped him out of it, or something. Oh yeah, he backdropped him out of it. Triple H was getting up, he's using the ropes to get up, and Ziggler's kind of getting up behind him, and I'm like, oh god, I can already see this coming, because it fucking happens every goddamn time. Triple H is pulling himself up with the ropes, and Ziggler goes for the fucking zigzag, and Triple H has the ropes and just shoves him off. And yeah, he shrugs him off because he's got a hold of the ropes. Ziggler still looks like a fucking idiot every time he does this fucking spot. The guy's on the ropes. He's anywhere near the ropes. Don't go for the fucking zigzag. Wait for him to turn around and super kick his teeth in again. Then hit the fucking zigzag. Don't fucking go for the zigzag when he's close to the ropes. You look like a tool every fucking time. I can pick out plot holes for days. The booking, the writing, the flow of a match, bad psychology. I can pick out every single one of your fucking plot holes and throw it in your face. Because every writer you have working for your show, every booker, every road agent is failing right now. This show sucked from start to finish. Boring as hell, by the way. Back to the match. Of course, he shrugs him off for the fucking zigzag. Triple H turns around, kicks Ziggler in the stomach, hits the fucking pedigree on him. 1, 2, 3. And Ziggler loses again. The crowd's dead as fuck, by the way. And then finally, what I was expecting to happen during this match, I'm thinking, okay, and this was even brought up on my message board, so somebody else kind of gave me the idea about it. We're like halfway through this match, and people are like, you know what's going to happen? Reigns is going to come out, Roman Reigns, he's going to return after being gone for 3-4 weeks, however long it's been. He's going to return during the match, distract Triple H, and let Ziggler get the win. That didn't fucking happen. That's what should have fucking happened if Reigns wanted to be cool. No, he waits until after Ziggler gets his ass kicked, hit the fucking pedigree, and Triple H gets the 1, 2, 3. And then Roman decides to come out. His fucking music hits. And Triple H, like an idiot, is looking up into the crowd. Well, Roman comes from the fucking stage. And he's all serious face. He's coming down nice and slow. They start fighting. And basically, this fight is almost a mirror image of when Triple H destroyed Reigns the other week. Reigns is throwing Triple H into the barricade, over here, over there. He takes him over to the commentary table and starts whacking his head repeatedly on the fucking table. He throws Triple H over the goddamn commentary table and starts clearing it off, taking all the monitors out, all the dumb shit. And then one of the fucking commentary chairs comes over the table, and I'm guessing Triple H threw it. I'm like, what the fuck? So Roman goes over and cracks him. I think Triple H had a can of soda, and he hits Roman in the face with it. It doesn't faze him, though. Roman's still fucking hitting him. And, finally, referees come out to try and pull Roman off of Triple H. And Charles Robinson, one of them, Lil Nate, the blonde one, he gets in Roman's face, and Roman shoves him on his fucking ass. And I'm like, that's fucking right. Enough of this shit. Stop trying to stop Roman from destroying Triple H. This is the only time anybody will ever fucking cheer for Roman, me included. I'm yelling at the fucking TV screen, fucking kill him, kill Triple H, just fucking get this shit off my TV screen. Triple H is trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. He's way up the fucking ramp, off to the side of the stage, and I'm like, where the fuck you running to, you chicken shit? Take your lumps like a man. Roman comes up and keeps whacking him. They're over by the tech area on the side of the stage, and Roman grabs one of these boxes that they ship the tech equipment in, and he cracks Triple H upside the head, hits him real flush over here. The camera cuts to way backstage behind the fucking Titantron, and Triple H is bleeding from this side of his head, like he got cut open in his ear. And so he's bleeding. I'm like, yes, more blood. Roman's still beating the crap out of him. Triple H is really trying to get away. He's like running, he's doing the classic horror movie shit where he's like tipping shit over to get in Roman's way. He's doing this. And in the process, he knocks over this one little box. A referee goes to jump over it and he trips and he's like, ow, my fucking... So he injured his foot. He had to go off camera to fucking go, ow, my foot, So good job, H. You just injured a referee, you dipshit. Roman finally catches up to him, and he's whacking him. Triple H grabbed a chair that just happened to be there, but Roman counters it by throwing a big fucking trash can full of garbage, throws it, and it just knocks Triple H over, and he drops the chair, and he's like getting on down on top and trying to fucking... And then up come the Usos, and Edge, and Mark Henry, and I'm like, where the fuck did these guys come from, and why the hell are they trying to talk Roman Reigns down? I'm like, motherfucker, I actually want to see somebody destroy Triple H. Of course, I'd rather see it in a back alley somewhere. Triple H really getting his fucking skull caved in. That's not going to happen, sadly. That piece of shit is going to continue drawing breath on this earth, and I'm going to continue to hate it. Anyways, so that's the end of that segment. By the way, crowd was really kind of mixed during this whole thing. Some people were cheering for Reigns. There were these couple of girls in the crowd who were screaming their fucking heads off. He throws Triple H into the barricade. This chick is like filming it with her camera phone, screaming her damn head off. And she wasn't bad looking either. But I'm like, you really like this wank peasant? Really? Ugh. Pretty, but apparently doesn't have good taste. So, anyways, they cut to a commercial break after that, by the way. Coming back, of course, we get a recap of what just happened. And finally, after that, the commentators get around to breaking the news. This week's inductee into the Hall of Fame, or at least the inductee that we're adding this week for WrestleMania, is going to be Jacqueline. Whatever. I don't feel like talking about her. I never liked her that much. I didn't think she was that great. She was in TNA not too long ago, so I really kind of surprised that they would do this, because... Anyways. One shit segment to another. We cut backstage, and there's Goldust. And of course we know where this is going. He's walking somewhere backstage and happens to hear this, like, quacking or some shit. And he looks over, and there's somebody in a penguin outfit. Sure enough, it's R-Truth. And, Goldie's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, are you doing this because it's something that I would do? And Truth is like, no, I actually learned this thing that when a penguin chooses its mate... The other thing that Goldust brought up is that we're in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Penguins, I believe that's a hockey team. But, whatever the fuck. Truth's like, I learned this thing that when a penguin chooses its mate, it's for life. You know. And Truth is like, will you be my partner? And Goldust is like, no. And he fucks off. And that's the end of that segment. Cutting back to the arena, Jericho's music hits. No pyro. He comes out. No fucking reaction. No pyro. No countdown. Cut to commercial. Coming back, Jericho's in the ring and he got a mic. And he starts talking, cutting a boring heel promo, even biting some of Triple H's promo from earlier, saying that the fans, you don't like me, you need to know your role, you know, you need to respect me, that kind of bullshit. I'm like, motherfucker, don't bite Triple H's promo. His promo was shit when he cut it. Now you're cutting it even worse. Anyways. Boring shit. Neville comes out. And we get a match between these two. And apparently, what happened during... Well, let me just take it as it comes. Beginning of the match, Jericho shoves Neville, showing disrespect. And I'm thinking, okay, any kind of man, I don't give a fuck about the match no more. You shove me, you slap me, you spit in my face. I'm kicking you in the fucking balls until you don't got balls left, Jericho. Neville should have stomped Jericho's nuts into oblivion. Fuck the match, who gives a shit? I'm stomping your nuts until you don't got nuts anymore. Until you're choking on them. Bitch, old motherfucker. Seriously, Jericho, hang it the fuck up. You're boring when you're a fucking heel. You're boring when you're a fucking face anymore. You're 40-something fucking years old. Go front Fozzy. Do something entertaining with your life. I actually like Fozzy, okay? I don't really hate you. I just hate you being this boring, washed-up old has-been of a wrestler. Go be with Fozzy. Go play songs. Jesus, just get the fuck away from the WWE, man. We need young guys, not old guys. That's why we cheer for Styles. He's younger than you. He's better than you. He's more entertaining than you. So anyways, Jericho shoves Neville, and that fires Neville up. He starts kicking the crap out of Jericho. Neville retaliates. And Jericho ends up rolling out of the ring, and he gets all pissy. He kicks the fucking ring steps. They cut to a commercial. I didn't see what the hell happened. Apparently what happened is somehow Neville got legit hurt during the match. Apparently, again, the crowd was so quiet, you could actually hear Jericho talking to the ref, is he hurt? And the ref's like, yeah, he's hurt. Jericho goes for a schoolboy roll-up. The ref counts 2, and then stops, even though apparently Neville didn't kick out. Apparently Neville was so hurt he couldn't kick out. But Jericho's like, what the fuck, ref? Why'd you stop counting? And he shoves the ref. And the ref's like, okay, fuck, ding, ding, ding. he disqualifies Jericho. And so Neville wins by DQ. And I'm like, what the fuck? And Jericho's like, no, fuck that shit, give me a mic. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, don't run your mouth anymore, I don't want to hear from you. He gets a mic and he starts running his dick licker, talking about Styles, this and that. Finally, after waiting for way too goddamn long, I mean, Jericho's even like, yeah, chant for AJ Styles. And the crowd's like, yeah, AJ Styles. And they're chanting for him. And Jericho's like, yeah, come on, keep it up. And finally, after waiting way too damn long, Styles' music finally hits. And he comes out, no pyro, he doesn't do his pose, he's all serious face. He gets up on the apron, hits Jericho with a forearm, which staggers him. And then AJ springboards up, comes flying with the forearm shot, and levels Jericho. And that's it. That's fucking it. After all that build-up and hype, all we get is a forearm and a springboard flying forearm, which completely kills Jericho. He's out. And AJ's just standing over him. And I'm like, motherfuck! Hit him some more! We get this 10-minute long beatdown of Reigns beating up Triple H, but we can't get 2 or 3 minutes of AJ to beat up Jericho after the beating that fucking Jericho gave AJ last week? 3 fucking code breakers. Last week, Jericho gave AJ. AJ gets a forearm and a flying forearm, and that's it. Eat a dick, whoever wrote this shit. I understand it was on the fly because Neville got hurt. But still, you were trying to fill time. Fill fucking time. This eye is really bothering me, I'm sorry. It really just keeps bothering me. I even had to write down "that's it" with a question mark. So anyways, they hype up The Undertaker confronting Vince and Shane, and that's next, and they cut to a commercial break. That's at 10:52, by the way. Coming back from the commercial break, we get more hype for SmackDown. A face-to-face is going to happen between Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha. And I'm like, who cares? And then we get more hype. Roman is going to be on SmackDown, apparently. Question mark. Who cares? Vince's music hits in the arena, and he comes out to no fucking reaction. He gets a mic, and he's like, seriously, is that nothing? And like, Lillian, you announce me again. Damn it, you know, he's pissed off that he's not getting a reaction. And I'm like, of course you're not getting a fucking reaction, Vince. We hate you. We want you to go the fuck away and die already. Crawl under a fucking rock somewhere and die, Vince. Go away. And take your daughter and her fucking stupid husband with you. But he's like, Lillian, you announce me again. And she does. And for some idiot reason, people in the crowd actually, like, cheered or something. And I'm like, fucking why? Don't encourage this old motherfucker. He starts talking a bunch of hot garbage about what's going to happen the day after WrestleMania, when Shane is running Raw and all this shit. He's going to bring in this new talent, and, you know, all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, Vince. That's what better fucking happen, or this shit is going to be goddamn unbearable, like I have said before. Vince finally gets around to a point of introducing The Undertaker, and doing it in just some of the worst, most demeaning ways. Like, this, he's mine. This is my Undertaker. He's my weapon of destruction. And he introduces The Undertaker. Dramatic pause. And I'm like, is he even going to come out? Sure enough, his music hits, and the smoke, and the fire, and the blue lights, and all the other bullshit. And more dramatic pausing as he takes his sweet fucking time actually coming out. And I'm like, is that actually him? Yeah, it's actually him, because I can see his fucking chest from the singlet that he wears, or the tank top, whatever the fuck it is. And he drags his fucking heels, taking as long as fucking possible to come out. He finally gets in the ring. And the crowd's chanting Undertaker. And Vince is like, fair bit of warning, don't you ever lay your hands on me again like you did last week. And Taker, kind of pissed off at this, takes off his coat, takes off his hat, and gives Vince the stink eye. His little, ooh, yeah, you know. And immediately Vince backs down. He's like, you know what? I don't even know why I brought that up. Let's just forget about it, and I'm apologizing. He actually says he's apologizing. Vince continues talking a bunch of hot garbage until finally Shane comes out to a pop. Shane gets in the ring, and immediately there's a dueling chant, Shane O'Mac, Undertaker. It goes back and forth, and Vince goes, shut up! And I'm like, no, you son of a bitch, this is the only fucking fun we're gonna have during this show. Let us have our fun. You want us to have fun at your show, right, asshole? Well, we can't have fun with you here. Vince and Shane start going back and forth a bunch of this shit. And Shane starts talking, you know, this is how I'm going to beat The Undertaker. He said, I've been watching a lot of old Undertaker matches to try and find some kind of a weakness or something. And I think I've got it figured out. You know, he starts going through this plan that he has. He says, you know, you're going to go to hit me, and you're going to miss. I'm going to duck, and I'm going to get out of the way, and I'm going to start hitting you back, you know. And that's the first thing he's going to do. He's going to use his brain. And then he says, I'm going to turn my body into a weapon, because I do that before. I throw caution to the wind, and I do these just insane fucking dives and stunts and shit. And then I'm going to use my heart, because as long as there's a single beat in this heart, I'm not going to give up. Yada, yada, yada. Undertaker reaches over and grabs the microphone from Vince and takes the stupid WWE thing off of it. Because the way Taker holds the mic, he holds it right under the foam part with the talkie piece. Whatever the fuck it's called. The head of the microphone. And he says, I don't even really remember. Undertaker's never really been all that good at promos. He's really not. That's why they had Paul Bearer talking for him for so long. But he says, you know, that's all well and good, but what I got is these. And he's got his gloved MMA gloves on. I got these, and I'm gonna deck you and all this shit. And I'm like, and Shane finally comes back to talking, and he says, can't remember how he led up to it, but basically what he says is, you know, I really can't believe that you're actually doing this for Vince. You know, you're a puppet on a string, dancing on strings, and this guy's the one holding them, and he points at Vince. And Taker's like, I ain't nobody's puppet, and I'm not doing this for him. And Shane's like, yeah, well, from where I'm standing, you look like Vince's bitch. And of course, Taker's pissed off. He goes to attack Shane. He grabs him by the neck. He lifts him up for the chokeslam, and Shane gets out of it and starts punching, doing those really bad punches that he does, completely whiffing most of them. Taker's in the corner, like, covering up, and Shane's punching him. And, right, Taker tries to reverse it. He tries to do something to Shane, but Shane ducks it or whatever and goes back to, like, trying to punch him or whatever. And Vince is behind Shane the whole time. And finally, after 2-3 rounds of Taker trying to hit Shane and missing, and Shane just, you know, doing these really bad punches, finally what ends up happening is Shane backs up a little too much, and Taker comes out of the corner, and Shane's like doing his juke and jive and shit, and Vince pushes Shane into Taker, who grabs him by the neck, picks him up, and chokeslams Shane. And so Shane's laid out after this chokeslam. And Vince has got this big smile on his face. He's like, oh, this and that. And Taker looks over at him, and Vince is like, oh, shit. He tries to get out of the ring, but he's so old and so slow. He dumps down to the ring mat and tries to roll out. Taker goes over to him. He has to slow himself down, Taker does, because he lunged at Vince too quick, and Vince couldn't get out of the way quick enough. I wouldn't be surprised if Vince hurt himself doing this shit. But Vince rolls out of the ring and basically falls flat on his ass on the floor. And Taker's like over by the ropes like, motherfucker. And I'm like, this is horrible. This is what I meant when I said they basically just killed all my enthusiasm for this match. Vince fucks the hell off. And Raw goes off the air with The Undertaker's music playing. And that was 11 o'clock. That's when the show ended. So, like I said, Raw was boring as shit. I seriously can't stand this shit much longer, folks. It's boring. It's tedious. It's the same old garbage every week. I fucking hate Roman Reigns for not coming out during the match and costing Triple H the match. You know, that actually would have made for a better story. I'm gonna make you lose to somebody who you think is so far beneath you. You know, that would have been major cool points for Reigns also, by the way. Helping Ziggler win so Ziggler can get the match he wants at WrestleMania, whatever it would have been. Doesn't matter, because apparently now he's not getting it. Roman, don't care. He's like, I don't care. I'm not going to help anybody else out. Fuck them. You know, I'm the top guy around here, so fuck everybody else. Fuck you, Roman. I don't care if you beat Triple H at WrestleMania. I don't care at all anymore. There's no good fucking result to that match. I think I said it earlier. The only good thing that could possibly happen is if the lighting rig collapsed and killed him, Triple H, and Stephanie all in one fell swoop. That's the only good possibility for the end of that match. That's the only good outcome. It's not going to happen, but that's the only possible good thing that could happen. So what are we going to get at WrestleMania, folks? Some more matches have been added to the card. We already know about Triple H versus Reigns for the title. We already know about Ambrose versus Lesnar in a no-holds-barred street fight. Apparently we're going to get a tag team title match, the New Day defending against the League of Nations. What else? Ryback wants a shot at Kalisto's United States title. The Divas Triple Threat match. What else did we have? There was something else added. Oh yeah, the Dudleys are going to go against the Usos, like we couldn't see that coming a mile away. I don't give a fuck about the Usos, and I really don't give a fuck about the fucking Dudleys. Is there anything else? Apparently there's going to be something with the Intercontinental title. Owens is going to defend, more than likely in a multi-man match, and that's probably going to suck. They're probably going to do another Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. No one gives a shit about those. That fucking match has not put anyone over, any of the winners. They've gone on... Cesaro won the first one. Where's he right now? Out on injury. And they never really pushed him after it anyways. Who fucking won it last year? I don't even know. I don't even care. Oh yeah, Big Show won it. Like he needed any kind of a push. What else are we gonna get? Who really cares? There's probably going to be another Divas match, just a bunch of Divas tagging up. Face Divas versus heel Divas. It'll suck. Because the only talented one that'll be in it will be Paige. Alright, well, let's go ahead and go over the matches like we always do. The show started off with a relatively alright match. The New Day successfully retained their tag team titles against Rusev and Del Rio of the League of Nations, only to get the shit beat out of them in a very racist beatdown. Ryback jobs out Sin Cara in a shit squash match. Don't care about that. Sami Zayn beats The Miz in an alright match. Naomi and Tamina beat Brie Bella and Alicia Fox in a shit Divas match. That's the rating I'm going to give to it. The Usos beat Bo Dallas and Adam Rose in basically a squash match. Shit, boring match. And Triple H beats Dolph Ziggler in a good match, only because Ziggler carried the fucking match and made Triple H look good. But we had to have Triple H win. We couldn't even have Roman come out during the match for the distraction to give Triple H some kind of excuse for losing to Ziggler. We couldn't just let Ziggler win, even just once. Nope. Only to get Reigns beat the shit out of Triple H in the only time I would ever cheer for Reigns. Just because I want to see Triple H just get destroyed. But again, I don't really want to see it happen in the wrestling world. I want to see somebody really destroy him in a back alley somewhere. Anyways, moving on. And the main event match, for some reason, Jericho loses to Adrian Neville by disqualification after shoving the fucking referee. Bunch of bullshit there. Only for a fucking boring, like 20 fucking minute long promo between Vince, Shane, and The Undertaker, ending with Undertaker beating the crap out of Shane and Vince running like a scared old man from The Undertaker. Seriously. I can't believe The Undertaker is actually going to go through with this. Again, and another thing that I mentioned this earlier about me bringing up the ending of Undertaker's streak. I got to thinking about this. It would have made for such a better story for this whole thing if the match at WrestleMania 30 had never happened. Either that or Undertaker had just won. If the streak was still intact to this day, and Undertaker's streak was on the line here, as well as Shane ending up controlling Raw or whatever. This eye just keeps bothering me. It won't stop. Doesn't help, I got a fucking haircut earlier and there's still bits of hair falling out of my scalp. Anyways. This story would have been so much better if Undertaker's streak was still intact and it was actually on the line against Shane, and Shane had control of the company on the line. It would have made for such a better story with that going in, and Shane just appealing to The Undertaker, just like saying, you know, I understand your streak is on the line, and, you know, but what's really on the line here is more important than that. As important as your streak is, it's still not the most important thing. Because if I win this match, and I take control of the WWE, the legacy of the company, the McMahon name, the future of the company, because the company is going down the fucking drain right now. It's really hurting bad. So if Shane doesn't win, the WWE could very well be completely screwed. Seriously. Shane had better win this fucking match. I may not be able to continue watching this shit if he doesn't. If this show does not get better, I don't know how much longer I can take it. We got another 3 weeks until Mania. I don't know how I'm going to be able to sit through all that shit. But Shane should be appealing to The Undertaker's soul or heart or whatever. You know, I'm not asking you to lay down for me, because I know you won't do that. But, and I know you have your streak on the line, but I have something more on the line. My family's name, my honor, the legacy of the company, the future of the company. If you love this company as much as you say you do, you must realize how much trouble this company is in right now with Vince and Stephanie and Triple H in charge. They are running this company into the ground, and if I don't save the company from them, the company will die under their watch. And you will have secured that as the future if you beat me. I don't really know how exactly Shane would appeal to The Undertaker doing this. But it would have been just such a better story to have Shane actually end The Undertaker's streak to take control of the company. And then Undertaker could have retired afterwards, since his streak would have been broken and all that other shit. I don't know. Storyline still sucks. The only good possible outcome, of course, is Shane winning. If he doesn't get control of the company, there's going to be a problem. Seriously, I still hate the fact that they basically stole my idea. Of course, again, my idea was for somebody completely new to come in and challenge Triple H and not end up this whole bullshit between Shane and Vince. Challenge Triple H to a match. And if the new guy won, Triple H, Stephanie, Vince would all have been removed from power. Of course, once again, my idea wasn't really a storyline. It would have been legit. Like, this guy would have had backing from the board of directors. He would have been handpicked as the fucking guy to destroy the Authority once and for all. For real. Triple H and Stephanie would be completely removed from their position. They wouldn't be on the fucking creative team anymore. Vince would no longer have any power. He would still be CEO just so he would keep making money, but he would have no power, no say in any decision making, nothing. Completely removed from power. Triple H and Stephanie gone, bye-bye, see ya, no more, bye-bye. Go away, you annoying cunts. That's what would have happened in my storyline. And Triple H also would have had his ass completely handed to him, because it would have been a real fight. But of course they're not going to do anything like that in the WWE, because we can't have real fighting. The UFC does that, and it's barbaric. And it also happens to draw a fucking shitload more money, doesn't it, you morons? That's why the UFC is kicking your fucking asses right now. That's why CM Punk is in the UFC. Because he saw he could make more money doing that. And he could get more over because you were burying him and treating him like shit. Everything CM Punk said in that Cabana podcast, I believe it. They were holding him back, they were treating him like shit, and that moron doctor misdiagnosed a staph infection, or wouldn't diagnose the staph infection, that could have killed Punk. And he got out before it killed him and managed to get saved by another doctor who actually knew what the fuck he was doing. I believe Punk, because what reason does he have to lie? And we know the fucking WWE, and specifically Vince, are just evil motherfuckers that would totally do something like that. They probably wanted Punk to die from that staph infection, so he would stop running his mouth and talking about how bad the company was and how much he hated it there. It's a simple tactic. When somebody knows a secret about you, you silence them. And you can do it with assassination, or you can do it with whatever the fuck. You can let somebody die from an illness that goes untreated and undiagnosed. But you have them taken out so to silence them. A lot of people wonder about the Ultimate Warrior when he died. The very day after he returned to the WWE after being gone for so long. And that speech that he gave was kind of weird and almost prophetic. People wonder about that. I fucking hate this company. And they fire Punk on his wedding day, and Vince claims it was just a coincidence. Sure it was. Sure it fucking was, Vince. You've done heinous shit like that in the past. Sure it was a coincidence this time. Sure it was. You let Michaels get away with being a pillhead for so fucking long, and you put up with all of his bullshit. And then guess what? After he dropped the title to Austin and went away on injury to fix his back, the fucking company goes into the biggest goddamn boom period in fucking so damn long. Without Michaels. By the way, I don't really like Shawn Michaels anymore either. The whole fucking clique. Him and Triple H and Pac and Kevin Nash. I hate all of them. I don't really throw Scott Hall in with him. I know he was part of it, but something tells me he was too drunk to realize what was going on at the time. He probably just went along. He's like, these are my buddies. I'm drunk. I don't care. And Scott Hall, thankfully, has gotten himself cleaned up. DDP Yoga, him and Jake the Snake, they're all doing better. I'm happy to hear that, because I don't want to see any talented people or any good people die from shit that could be prevented. You know, I was really glad to hear that both Jake the Snake and Scott Hall got cleaned up. This thing is still bothering me. This company sucks. It's evil. Vince McMahon really needs to fucking die. And so do Stephanie and Triple H. I hate all three of them. I never want to see any of them on my TV screen ever again. That was another thing that I found funny as hell. It was during one of the commercial breaks. I don't remember which one. It doesn't matter. They showed one of these stupid commercials where a while back they had that Connor the Crusher thing. He was a kid with cancer. They granted him his dying wish to let him be WWE champion or something, and that he pinned Triple H in the ring. And that's all well and good, you know. That's so nice of them to do that charity stuff. But what pisses me off about it is Triple H and Stephanie, when they go out and they do these charity events, these special appearances, Triple H and Stephanie are both just as happy and as nice as they can be. They're so nice, and, you know, they're all talking, we're proud to be a part of all these charity things. This new Connor cancer thing that they started up to help with the cancer kids. And they're always doing the Susan B. Komen for the Cure breast cancer shit every fucking year. Even though that company has been called out as being a complete fraud who embezzles their own money and shit. And, you know. Anyways. All these other charity things that they do. The Be a Star campaign. Don't be a bully, be a star. And then, when the cameras are rolling on the fucking show, Triple H and Stephanie are the biggest bullies, the biggest assholes, the biggest heels imaginable. And I'm fucking, you can't have it both ways. okay? You're either the dickless cocksuckers we see on the show, or you're the nice, charitable, friendly folk that we see on the charity events. Pick one or the other. You can't have both. And guess what? Even if you try to be the nice, charitable people, we're still going to fucking hate you for all the years of bullshit you've had to put us through. Because this goes back beyond the fucking Authority era. This goes way back to the fucking McMahon-Helmsley era. Remember that shit? When those two had their fucking reign of terror? Holy fuck. That bullshit. I can't stand seeing these motherfuckers on my TV anymore. I hate them so much. I just want them to go away. Like I said before, crawl under a rock somewhere with Vince, and the three of you can just kindly die and go away forever. I'd appreciate it. This episode of Raw sucked. If you can't tell, I think I've rambled for about 2 hours on this shit. Holy fuck. Let's just wrap up, because I'm done. I want to get to something that's actually fun. I've been playing GTA Online, trying to get some money to fucking upgrade my Sultan to a Sultan RS. That's way more fun. Doing the same repetitive missions and the same repetitive races over and over and over, playing that fucking game. The same races and missions, by the way, that I've been playing since the damn online mode came out. Back when I was playing it on the PS3, and not the PS4 version I've got now. Playing that repetitive stuff over and over and over again is still more fun and more entertaining than this boring fucking show. That was Raw from March 14th, 2016, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, apparently the Consol Energy Center. That was it, folks. I'm gonna go have fun doing something interesting. So, thank you for watching if you fucking stuck around this long. Jeez, I can't. Screaming at the fucking TV. I watched in dismay as Ziggler lost that match. Only for then Roman to come out. And I'm like, seriously, where the fuck were you 2-3 minutes ago, you asshole? Don't help somebody else out and make Triple H look like a fool. Don't, do something cool. No, just screw him over and let him get his ass kicked. Shitty fucking booking of this fucking show. Sorry, I'm done. Good night. This episode of Raw was ass. Sucked ass from a straw. I'm done with this shit for the night. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for SmackDown spoilers. That'll probably be up sometime shortly. I don't know when. Thank you for watching. Good night, folks. Don't bother giving these fuckers any of your money. Don't pay for WrestleMania. If you can see it at a friend's house or some other way where you don't have to pay, don't give these pieces of shit. Oh yeah, you don't have to pay. I forgot about that. Some moron during the show, I don't know if it was the announcers or somebody else, they mentioned you can actually get WrestleMania for free this month. The first time ever they're offering WrestleMania for free. It's only available on the network because finally, apparently, the last pay-per-view provider finally cut all ties with the WWE because they're tired of the WWE giving them the finger with this network shit. And literally coming out and telling people, if you pay $50 for this pay-per-view, you're stupid. You should only be paying $9.99 for the fucking network a month. Guess what? If you sign up to the WWE this month, it's free and you'll see WrestleMania for free. Because they realize how shitty the booking and the build to this god-awful show has been and how terrible it's going to be. And they know people aren't going to want to fucking pay pay-per-view for money for this thing. And they know nobody's going to want to pay for the fucking WWE Network subscription. You can get it for free. So go ahead, folks. Get a free month of the WWE Network. In a month, you'll have watched everything that the WWE Network has that's of any value. You'll see WrestleMania for free. And at the end of the month, it won't matter because you'll already have seen everything that you could possibly want to see. That's how worthless the WWE Network is. You could probably blow through all the good content in a month and be done. And you can get it for free this month. So get it while you can, folks. Don't give these fuckers any money at all. Don't pay for tickets to go to the shows. Don't fucking go to WrestleMania. Don't go to any of the other fucking pay-per-views. These motherfuckers need to start seeing that their poor booking and poor storytelling are going to be punishable by their pocketbooks shrinking. Stop giving them money. Stop supporting this shitty product. That's it. Good night, folks. Look forward to SmackDown spoilers sometime soon. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.